Hi guys, welcome back to the Pride FT. The FT stands for football thoughts. Uh,
Oh no,
bad thoughts these days.
I've got
I'm
so many
joined.
thoughts.
I'm joined by Bo. Bo, how are you feeling after yesterday's defeat?
I mean, many feelings. Main one, just disappointment, really.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah,
understandably so, I would suggest. But yeah, disappointment, but not just for the game itself, but actually for a lot more than that. But let's get into the game first and
yeah.
foremost. Obviously, so much has already been said about what happened. We're not going to give anyone any new kind of amazing analysis that they haven't heard elsewhere.
No.
But what do you take away from what you saw yesterday?
Oh, I take away a lot of stress. that's the
A lot of
that's the
pain
main
and
thing. A lot of
suffering.
pain, suffering. I was going to do a match review, a match reaction, but oh my god, I was so depressed. I decided to go on Rainbow Six Siege and got even more depressed. So, but no, what my main takeaway is consistency, and I think there is none. It's just
Yeah,
there's no consistency in front of goal, but there's no consistency in our type of style. There's no consistency in our attitude. There's no consistency in the managerial tactics. There's no consistency anywhere in this entire squad and management and fucking board and owners. It's
yeah,
just it's you know what it is. It's just it seems like I'm in a like I'm looking at a COD free for all lobby. That's literally what it looks like,
it's just
and
mayhem.
it's just mayhem, and
Yeah,
everyone's fighting for themselves. Like, there's no
yeah,
unity. Even though I
yeah,
thought we was looking at a little bit of unity in the Crystal Palace win,
yeah,
when we had that huge celebration, Disasi doing bloody
yeah,
jumping into the fans. I thought, oh, this is nice. I like this, and
yeah,
Enzo with his shirt and stuff like that. I thought, oh, this is quality.
yeah.
It just all went out the window. Apparently, I don't know wherever that was, but yeah. What's your main takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, you actually hit a nail on the head. I reckon, like just lacking consistency, like everywhere across the
Yeah,
whole club. I was really happy with the starting lineup. I thought this is exactly what I would have picked, and I was happy to see it. And I thought when I looked at Liverpool's lineup, I was like, right, we can bloody give these guys a good game here
yeah.
because there's not many players in that squad that I'm like really that nervous about.
No,
But yeah, it was just like a bit of a lame performance, to be
it
honest. Like
was. It
we just
was
started
just.
really slow, and like nobody was really like again they weren't really into it. They were kind of peppering. I mean, they had a lot of shots. They had 24 shots in total.
Yeah,
They were peppering us. Obviously, we get that goal. It was disallowed for offside.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't be asked to argue
We
whether
had,
it was or
we had,
wasn't.
on top of that, we had, when I said about the consistency and attitude, you've got
Yeah,
Chilwell fighting fucking Bradley,
yeah, I
getting a
know.
yellow card
Like
for that, which is
Fernandez getting
stupid.
skinned by Diaz at one
You
point on the wing,
honestly, I
who just
like.
made him look embarrassing.
It's so right. So let's just say we're not going to go through everything in the match
No, no.
because I would rather just unalive myself. But
Yeah, in Minecraft.
in Minecraft. So what I would say is Enzo did not perform.
No,
Palmer did not perform.
no.
Jackson horrendous, and I think Gallagher run his bollocks off, and Gallagher looked like the only one that
Yeah,
fucking cared at all.
yeah. Which is
I'm sorry to
important.
say that,
Yeah,
but from what I was watching, the only one running off like a headless chicken, which should be all 11 of you, even the
mm,
goalkeeper should be doing fucking pacing, right? Everyone should be running their heads off to get silverware. And Liverpool, even though yes they brought on youngsters, and I keep on fucking seeing this everywhere, it's that
mm,
we bring on youngsters. Our average age for our team, even when all your youngsters were
yeah,
on,
yeah,
was still lower than your fucking team,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And
So
and also
I
and also
want to hear it.
and obviously with all of the claptrap that idiot Gary Neville came out with that line about
Oh
the blue billionaire bottle jobs.
yeah, yeah.
Number one, that
He defo wrote that last
he
night,
was
right?
preparing. Now, of course, he was.
Fucking knobhead.
And not only that, but also you said it in the wrong order. It's not blue billionaire bottle jobs. It's The billionaire. It's the billionaire blue bottle job. So you got it wrong. All right. You had one chance to say something iconic and you ruined it.
Yeah.
But no. Also, their image going around like. Most of that Liverpool team as well, they're saying, oh, all these academy kids, look at them, homegrown, come out of the academy. Most of those kids were signed at like 16, 17 from other academies.
Exactly.
Only, I think, 2 of them, actually were
from the actual Liverpool
from the actual academy from day one, like Reese's and like Colwellers. So you can have a day off for a start because once again, but this is always the case of Liverpool. Even though they had a £75 million centre back, a £40 million midfielder. £45 million, two £45 million attackers.
Yeah,
Gravenberch, he was cheap. But again, we say it every time with Liverpool because it never gets really brought up. But this is not like an entirely cheap squad, and obviously ours isn't. But we can get into that. But no, you're right. Like I actually thought Jackson was all right. I thought he gave Konate a bit of a hard time on occasion. But that whole first half, nobody saw a sniff of the ball. None of the attackers. They didn't see a sniff of anything.
Maybe I'm giving Jackson a hard time because at the end of the day, he was against Van Dijk and Konate, which isn't a fucking easy deal. But what I would say is that when Nkunku come on, Nkunku should have replaced Jackson. That made more sense in my head. But Nkunku should have started, in my opinion.
I don't know what's going on.
Jackson I think Jackson's so much better as a left winger, and he was like too central, losing the ball. He looked like like a newborn giraffe. Like he was just the ball was under his feet and not in front of him. It was so frustrating to see. But yeah, I think with the whole bottle job thing, I just want to go on to the commentators quick, as I always do. Apparently. Meant to be non-bias commentators.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
We had Gary Neville and fucking Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
What's all that about then? Because Jamie Carragher, honestly, he doesn't even know the fucking rules of football. I just want to touch on this. Van Dijk's first goal that got disallowed for offside. Everybody's confused how it is. Even these professionals, I saw journalists on Twitter saying how can someone explain the rules to me? Really just fucking analyse yourselves, please, because fucking hell. So I'll explain it to you quickly now, right? Endo, right, was offside and he blocked Colwill from making a move onto Van Dijk. That's it. If Endo was onside and done it, that's fine. Fair play. But he's offside and done it.
It's like when somebody shoots. Simple. It's like when somebody shoots and someone's onside in the eye line of the goalkeeper. Yeah. It's the rule is if you're interfering with play, and you're offside, it's offside. It's offside. And that's what that was. Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
So fairly simple.
And people were so confused. Even Chelsea fans were like, "Oh, don't know." That's you fuck off. Anyway.
Yeah. So all right. I mean, other bits then from the game, obviously, as usual, we had 5 big chances. We didn't score any of them. No. So that has to be said, obviously. That was terrible. And what can we say? It keeps happening over and over again. It's so boring to keep saying it. And then obviously into the, I think where the big problem came for me was our extra time performance.
Fucking hell.
For a few different reasons. And we're going to get onto Pochettino in a minute because we have to.
Yeah.
First one is, I actually think that... Jackson should have stayed on instead of being subbed off for Mudryk, but that is a personal opinion based on how little I rate Mudryk.
I know that this is going to be mad because I've just slated Jackson, but I agree.
Yeah, I don't think Conor Gallagher should have gone off.
No,
for
he was
Noni Madueke. Madueke was like pants, a couple dribbles, but so Gallagher doesn't do anything with it.
Gallagher was very fucked, and he was a little bit the slightest of limps. So I think it was like save face. Yeah, but I agree. He should have just stayed on because he's a machine.
Yeah, and then also, like if there's any game where you're gonna like kind of push past the pain barrier, it's the cup final, right? And then in general, our entire performance in that whole extra time was laughable, embarrassing. We just let them come on to us, for the whole half an hour and just batter us.
With Gallagher going off, the whole mood changed. As soon as Gallagher came off, the energy dropped. No one cared. He was the backbone, even though he wasn't captain throughout because Chilwell started. By the way, Chilwell started as captain. Then Gallagher's captain, and then when
Yeah.
Gallagher came off, who became captain? Do you know?
Was it Enzo?
Enzo Fernandez. He
Not
doesn't
Colwill.
speak English.
No, I know, not Colwill, bruv. The
He
guy's
doesn't
been in the
speak
club.
fucking English.
Come on, I know.
What's he gonna do?
Stuff.
Point at shit? Fuck it.
know.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It's a cup final.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. Again, just one of those things that's it's frustrating, definitely. And then obviously we'll obviously have to touch on it. Their goal in the 118th minute, Virgil van Dijk, who to be fair had a good game. Yeah. It was a great header. But as you said about how when Gallagher went off, the energy just dropped. Yep. It was never more clear than on that corner because I've just rewatched the highlights just to get a refresher. Right. And everyone in the box, apart from Disasi, who's supposed to be tracking Virgil van Dijk, are all standing still. Everyone.
Absolutely nothing. They were like playing bloody statues. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And it was so late in the game. It was 128th minute, I think. No one cared. No, everybody was like, "Oh, we'll defend this." Then penalties. That was the. So saying that, Pochettino. Now, I just want to say I don't know how this is going to thing because I've seen multiple, accounts of this. But I said to you yesterday, Pochettino has come out and said, we played for penalties in the extra time.
Yeah.
Now, apparently that wasn't the case. Apparently that has been misconstrued. And God, what's his name? The journalist. Some journalist, can't remember his name, was in the room with him when he said that. And he said, no, that's not what he said. He said it looked like the players wanted penalties. That's how they played. So it's not that I gave them the orders to do penalties, which might be just saving face there, to be fair. He might have done that. But that's how they played. The players just looked like they went, "Oh, fuck this," which makes no sense because you're against a very youthful side, inexperienced side. I mean, yes, we've got young players, but we've got World Cup winners, we've got treble winners, treble winner, and you're not pushing for a win in extra time.
Yeah, I know. It's just
so frustrating.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Where it's like, if it's down to the manager, obviously you can't accept that at any club. Really, should never. If you get to it, most managers never reach a cup final, right? That's just the way the sport is. There can only be 2 teams who reach a cup final every year. So number one, you're privileged to get to that spot, and most players don't reach a cup final either. So number 2, if you're a player and you get to that spot, you're privileged to get there. So. For either party involved, you've got to give it everything you've got. Look, I'm not a professional athlete. What the fuck do I know? I'm barely a non-professional athlete. I'm barely a human. But there's such a clear lack of
will,
everything with this squad that is really sickening, and it's something. It's really hard to pinpoint the problem, but it's, as we've said now for months on end. I can tell you the
problem right now.
As we said for months on end, it's everything. It's the whole club from the top down is absolutely, entirely and utterly screwed.
Yep. So I can say one sentence that sums up the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're in it for a wage and not the badge.
Yeah.
And that's literally what it is.
And the ownership are in it because it's an asset.
Not the badge.
Because it's an asset. It's not. They don't actually want to do well. They've got an asset and they want to make money out of it. And it's just so. It's just so blatant. Like, the squad they put together. It's garbage.
Yep.
Like it's really hard. Obviously, in the moment now with the recency bias.
Yeah.
When you look at, you have to make clear comparisons. Like Endo in that Liverpool squad. Endo's not. He's not just come off of a World Cup and had an amazing performance, and Liverpool are like, let's spaff 100 million on this random 21-year-old, which makes me sound like I'm mugging off Enzo, but there are other players, obviously. Mudryk, for example, right, 75 million pound on an unproven Ukrainian winger who's only scored like 6 goals in the Ukrainian league, who's got less than 60 caps. It's just ridiculous, but. Who clearly is not going to have anything. You can't bring anything to a competitive game.
No.
Because he doesn't have the experience and he doesn't have the will or determination. He just doesn't. I know he likes to post on Twitter about God gave me this and God gave me that. God gave you a bunch of shit tattoos. That's all He gave you, and a shit barnet, right? But like Endo, they bought him because they knew they had limitations in midfield. They bought a 28-year-old experienced midfielder who's got like hundreds of appearances. He's played in multiple international tournaments because he's a very important part of the Japanese team, and he's got a little bit about him. And he had a fantastic game, like because he understands what it means to play in a big game and show up. And it's just like you can't smash together so many inexperienced. It's not even about being young. It's about not even playing
FIFA.
The amount of games.
This isn't FIFA. You're not just going onto the pack, onto the fucking, to the store and just like buying random players and be like, oh yeah, they got a good link because they got fucking countries. It doesn't work like that. So we've literally just stat padded and well, not even stat padded really. Some of them don't even have over 100 games. Most of them. So it's what the fuck is happening? But I'm failing to see how we didn't win, and I'm failing to see where this project is going. Is it Potch out? Is it finally time?
I struggle with that. Yesterday, I was definitely like, I've had enough. Like, this is bollocks, and especially after I saw that quote. But after the context, where as you enlightened me about how it was more of probably a bit of a mistranslation. And you can see, I mean, look at the newspapers headlines today. They are gunning for us big time. We're getting slated. Like,
they hate us.
No, and to be fair, they always have. So it's just more of the same. But it's still frustrating to see it. But Pochettino didn't shake Bowley's hand in the. I don't know if you saw that.
Sorry,
kind of
I've seen this. Can we just review this, right? Because I think he did. Because he went for what's his name, Egbali or whatever his name is. And as he's gone for him, I think he's done like a cross shake because he's grabbed him and went to him as well. It was like I think it was like it
was hidden by the camera angle. Maybe
I think it was hidden by the camera angle. That's what I honestly think. But anyway, fuck Todd Bowley because isn't Egbali like higher than him anyway?
I don't know.
Something like that.
I hear that he's kind of taken a step back, and Egbali is more, in like with the day to day. It's just, I hate what football's become because we're here discussing executives that we shouldn't have to even think about because the best thing about football is watching football and seeing players score goals and make great tackles and do sick skills and entertain us. But unfortunately, football is one of those strange industries where idiots can get full control of a company with. Companies don't have fans, clubs do. And because clubs are run like companies now, it's like there's so much scrutiny and it's like you can't even just focus on the football anymore because there's so much bollocks around the game now that it's like I don't want to know about Win Stanley. I don't want to know about Egbali.
I don't want to know their names.
I don't want to know about any of them. I just want to see decent football. I want to see us win.
That's it. And can I just say
since they've come in, it's just a mess. Everything's a fucking mess.
Did you see the video of Mudryk and Enzo going up to get their medals through the crowd?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. No. So it's going through Liverpool supporters, which I think is bang out of order. They should have. You know what? They should have a separate thing of like. If you're Liverpool, you go to the Liverpool section to get your medals and trophy. And if you're Chelsea, you go to the that side to get your medals and that because they've gone past the Liverpool people and they're all fucking laughing at them and shit. And then they've as Mudryk's gone past him, he didn't say anything, and then they said something to Enzo, and Enzo's turned around and fronted him, and the security's got grabbed hold of Enzo, grabbed hold of Enzo, and. I just think, and everybody's like saying, oh, like, what are you going to do? But I mean, if he's going to front you, fucking go for it. Like, if it is what it is. But I just wanted to say that. I think that one, that's bang out of order. Like, it's football, but people have fucking emotions. And two, why do the losing side have to go through the winning side's fans?
Just seems like bad planning, to be honest.
That's fucking terrible. It should be like separate. I'm sorry, it should be separated, but I don't know if that's a thing. But anyway, it just pissed me off because
Yeah,
Liverpool fans are fucking dickheads anyway. So yeah, it's just, you know what, I've just seen everywhere like how bad we are and all that, and no, you couldn't beat Liverpool's B team and C team and all this bollocks, right? But the thing is, if you lost, you would blame it on the C team, and
yeah,
if you
yeah,
lost, you'd be like, "Oh, it's only the Carabao Cup; it doesn't matter anyway."
yeah,
But
yeah,
because we've lost, you're treating it like you fucking won the World Cup.
yeah.
You're treating
It's
it like it's something else.
it's a weird one. You're right. Like normally the Carabao Cup is like something that people laugh about, like in trophy comparisons.
Yeah,
It felt though it did feel quite important for us though because it felt like
for us,
this is a
yes,
this is a chance to prove that what we're doing is going in the right direction.
yeah.
And I think with that loss and the manner of it, it just really feels like it's really taken a wind out of my sails in particular.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling to maintain my kind of connection with the club when it feels like what we had has just been taken away from us
Literally, has. I mean, it
with
has.
no say or
Rhyme or
anything
reason.
with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah,
It just happened because
yeah,
of like political point scoring.
exactly.
And
We've been fucked over by the UK government. So
I just feel really, so disconnected by
it's
the whole
ridiculous.
situation.
It is ridiculous, and I think I don't even know. I don't
Honestly,
even know how to fix it.
the club, I really feel like the club's just like done for. I
How do you
think we're in
fix this?
danger. I think we're in trouble because there's a lot of what's it called? The monetary thing.
Yeah.
What's that called?
What do you mean?
I can't believe it's just. What did Everton just? What did they just get in
Points
trouble
deduction.
for?
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Financial fair play.
That's it. Financial fair play. That's
Oh, by the
got to
way,
be an issue at some point.
Their point. I'm pointing. Their point deduction got reduced to 6 points.
It did, yeah, 6 points. So good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just feel like we're in trouble, man. And I'm sorry, players who have got short careers will not be sticking around. And I get it, we've got long contracts and shit, and that's all well and good. But if a player wants to go, they will force a move. And if another club knows a player is forcing a move, because a player always has the most power in these situations, then they will be able to get them for whatever they want to get them for. Exactly. That's just how the game works.
And then on top of that, who will want to come to us?
No one.
We're not in Europe.
No.
We're not competing for anything.
No.
We're 10th. We're mid-league.
We're 12th.
We're
12th. After Wolves won the other day.
So who's going to be like, oh, I want to go to Chelsea?
Yeah, exactly. Anyone with like
we're gonna become. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're gonna become the Liverpool of old.
Yeah.
When they just
30 year.
when they just lived off of their history.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you're right. I think I was listening to a podcast today, and there were multiple different fans of different clubs, and the Arsenal fan said to like the Chelsea fan who was talking, is like, you are now firmly in your banter era, like we were.
Yeah.
Like you're in your banter era now, and you just got to firm it because this is what it is going to be. Like you can't stay on top forever.
Yeah.
And like we have to massively readjust our expectations of what our club is and what it can offer. And I wouldn't even mind being shit. It's the fact is we're shit with a bunch of mercenary players who like came because they got their contract sorted, and they're gonna fuck off as soon as they have the opportunity. I would rather us been shit and had Lampard still and had all of those academy players, and we had something to be proud of. I'd rather be finishing 12th with them, because at least I felt like the club
actually cared.
It still counted for something. It meant for something, and now it's like they've
so
sucked the soul
hollow.
out. That's it. They've sucked the soul out of the club. The players don't really give a fuck. The
No
ownership don't really give a fuck, and it makes it really hard for me to give a fuck.
I think the last person that cared was the caretaker, and he got fired. So I think obviously I think player wise, there's only one that I can think of, because right now, I'm sorry to say this, right, and it's very controversial. I think Reece doesn't give a fuck, and I think Chile doesn't give a fuck. Right? I'm sorry, but it just seems that way. And I think Gallagher is the only one who actually cares anymore. and
it feels like it, doesn't it?
and
I'd like to
he's
think.
the only one that puts in any amount of fucking effort. Chile yesterday was shit.
Yeah, he was shit, wasn't he?
So
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I don't know anymore, man.
Yeah.
There's no spine, and we've been said this for fucking like a year and a half. But there's nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And
It's just
to lose against that twat of a team
I know.
and the twatty
And that
fans that
manager
they
as
have,
well.
and that
And the
twatty
media,
manager and the
the
twatty
media who love
media,
him.
and it's just
Yeah,
like,
I know.
it's just all sucking off Klopp. Like, fuck off.
I know, it's killer. It really was killer. Well, I know there's only so much we can say. Really, we should probably wrap it up here. Obviously, yeah, we're massively disappointed, and sorry, it was a bit of a ramble, but sometimes you have to get these things off your chest.
It was just a random rant, but
Yeah.
you know, I hope you enjoyed the
feels
video.
good.
We've got another game on Wednesday.
Yeah, we do. Leeds in the FA Cup. Oh, by the way, Leeds are second in the Championship, absolutely flying at the moment.
Yeah,
they've got the best form in the Championship,
so that's good.
They're going to give us a fucking game and a half.
Yeah, so we're going to lose that, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm really just I'm done. I'm literally done. I don't even know if I support football anymore. Like it's done for me. I
might just have to be. I'm a Luke Littler fan now.
Yeah, and you know he's given up the kebabs now as well. So
has he?
You know, yeah. Did you know his local kebab shop sponsored him, right? And they've made a kebab called Luke the Nuke Kebab.
That's fucking class.
Brilliant.
I love darts.
Anyway, so that's all from our darts professionals today. We'll catch you in the Premier League on Thursday, where Luke Litter should actually get some points. That's it. It's a darts channel now. Fuck it. Okay, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you again very soon. And as always,
As always, fuck Clear Lake. That's my new sign out.
Fuck Todd Bowley and fuck the media.